people with this attitude of, I can't, change it to, I can. And then find a way. It has to be important enough to you. So that's why that's another mother-child. How do you know what to do? How do you know what, oh geez. Handwriting is bad enough as it is. A-C-T-I-O-N. How do you know what action to take? Action being the child of something. Think about it. Vision or goal directs the action. Action leads to what you want. Again, mother-child. The vision. Okay. The vision can be something in here. Okay? You need the quiet mind to know what you want. Without a calm mind, you don't really know. You're too busy with distractions. And you're also told what you should like, what you should not like. Maybe parents or friends tell you what you should be doing, and then you just follow that because it's mindless living. The quiet mind becomes more mindful, and you start to have ideas of what you like. And maybe it's not what your best friend likes. I don't really like that. I want this. Clarity allows for vision. Because very few people know what they want. We have lessons, and one of the biggest problems is the lesson where you got to put a 5-year plan together. Anybody know that one? People struggle with that. What's the problem? I don't understand. Do we take ourselves so seriously that we can't even make a plan? The possibilities of our life? Because that will give us direction. What action to take. An action that actually has a result in the direction you want. Mother-child. But don't forget, 8 trigrams is change. Just because you write something down that you want it doesn't mean you can't change your mind. You change too often, you don't have clarity. You don't know what you really want. But it is possible to have an idea, take action, find out you don't really like that, and change. So I think that's why people have such a hard time with that lesson. They think if they put it down, it's like they're scratching it into stone and it's the 10 Commandments for their life or something. No, change. Make a different plan. I don't like that anymore. But remember, the busy mind, kind of the ADD mind, is constantly changing. It's unsure. And so they dabble. Little this, and get nowhere. Dabbling gets you nowhere. Focused effort in a direction gets you somewhere. Which brings me back to practicing some drill over and over and over. Get beyond boredom. See, you're bored doing the same thing over and over. It's normal. But not the quiet mind. The quiet mind finds the intricacies, the depth of whatever the drill you're doing. And that trains you to have clarity. Quiet mind, focused practice, some more clarity. Then you're sitting all of a sudden, and you have an idea. And from the, I can't tell you how many ideas have come up for me in the middle of practice. I used to keep a notebook. Sometimes I forget the notebook. Oh, I forgot the notebook. Because I would just like stop for a second. That's a good idea. It's like creativity comes out when the mind is that way. It's a phenomenal experience. So don't underestimate the training. This training is so much beyond punching and kicking and defending and violence and tournaments and black belts and trophies. And because I talk to people in the industry, and sometimes I just have to scratch my head because my experience of martial arts is so different than their experience of martial arts. That's why I have such a love for Sifu Brown. I mean, him and I can just talk for hours. We don't even know what happened. Hours. He was out visiting a few weeks ago. Him and I went out, 7 hours we're talking. Felt like 2 at most. I mean, it's just, we didn't train with the same teachers, but our experience of the practice internally and in our lives is like identical. And we completely see eye to eye in this practice. And we see other people in the industry, how what they do and what they think and what they think is important. And yeah, some people business-wise make a lot of money. But are they reaching people at the deepest level that this practice is capable of? People need this practice today more than ever before. People are more superficial, more thin-skinned than ever before. Which reminds me, we did the police youth academy this week. 76 kids in here. We did 2 classes, 45 minutes each. It was like 36 kids or 38 kids in each class. And one of the classes I taught some Chinna. So Chinna is very funny. You know, you have some experience with Chinna. One of the reasons why I teach some of the basics that I teach in our classes is because you got to learn that you're not made out of glass. And so, you know, playing around with these kids, the kids are 10, 11, 12 years old, and I play around with them, and I just, you know, go for me or something, I grab and I lock. And these boys would be screaming, ah! And then this one little girl, couldn't have been more than 9, and I grabbed to lock her, and she's just looking at me. Huh, interesting. I would have had to put a little more pressure to hurt her, right? Make her feel something. She's just like, So right away, I know something special. Go through the rest of the class, end of the class, I'm saluting with her, and I said, come here. I said, you practice martial arts, don't you? And then she goes off, and she starts telling me how she's like world champion or something at her age. I don't know, like Shotokan Karate and Arnis, and she just lit up and started telling me this whole story. I was like, that is so awesome. This little girl. Everybody around her, twice her size. I'm locking them, they're screaming, they're all scared. Oh my God, what you do? And I grab her and she just, that's what martial arts can do. Do you know how strong her mind is to be able to take that and not even respond? Nothing to it. It's more than physical, it's mental. When we test, that's why I was explaining earlier, there are certain things on the test. It's not just to give you trouble. It's specific by design. To be a challenge that can only be overcome by consistent effort over time. That's real Kung Fu. That's the meaning. Achievement through consistent effort over time. And testing has to demonstrate that. Or I'm not doing my job. Now, sure, I could say, I can point the way, you don't do it. But if you're here and you're advancing, my job is that you're changing. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Can even say socially, because some people are not good social and they're better at it because bravery. You're not afraid to open yourself up to people. Yeah, that too. This concept of the mother-child, one of the most basic ways to apply it, you know, what I want you to take from this. What's my challenge? What's my goal? What's my concern? What's bothering me? And how do I nourish the mother to strengthen that, being the child? Let's go to meditation.